Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Check pass.
We're going. Let's go.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Through, and he's got space. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Kareem Hunt, his second touchdown on the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. The first carry now. This is Johnson. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And it's 3rd down.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And it's fielded at the 34. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight.
Watch him 50.
Hey. You got 3. You got 3.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to take a shot right away for the end. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Kill.
Hey, 50.
Hey, one set. Check right, 54.
Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Mike,
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
You ain't doing nothing today. Check 4. Wide. Get wide. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Here we go.
Zebra.
Check 3. Switch.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Hey, exit. Where's that?
Following the interception, Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Throwing on second and long. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much. As he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Ready.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the pass. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Jim.
Hey, Delta.
Jim.
On third down, Way. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Let's go, man. Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
You go tight. You got tight.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I got you. I got you. Slam, slam, slam. Kill, 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 kill. Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Tack.
Hey, wahoo! Shoot!
From the gun, Lane. They'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go, Dean, let's go.
Look at me. Go, go.
Switch, switch, switch.
Operating from the gun, Lane. That'll be complete to Breida. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
Check, check.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. He'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 21-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Defense, our time. It's our time. Check 26. Check. Go.
Here's Johnson. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
Now.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Cousins on 1st down. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Get it.
Looking to throw. Lay. He's going to wind up in air. He's got it at the 15. That one good for 37 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Here we go. Shift. Check.
Second and 14. Complete to Jones. Well, the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Push him back.
Ready.
Back to throw. Lay. Galladay's got it. And the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done, and it'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
They'll try and run for it with Johnson, and he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for two does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so, and guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Cousins now lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
It's 2nd down and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Final play of the half. Cousins. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hit, hit, hit. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check safety. Check safety. Check. 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 Crunch. 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 Hit it.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, alert 3. Alert 3. Kill, 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 kill. Hey, turn it up. Turn it up.
Go.
They're going to try and throw. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return will stop right around the 25. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid. The reason that they drafted him, and go out and play. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Back at the 23-yard line.
On third down, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a fourth down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Cut! 42's the mic, boys, 42. Get it.
Throwing on third and long. Lane. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
They stopped him in his tracks. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Ready.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
We own it. We own it.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 38-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
What we got? Tighten up.
49. You're out.
Check 49. Sponge.
Ready.
2nd and 9 now. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. But now it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check nickel.
From the gun, Lane. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check 31.
Operating from the gun. Lay. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Hey, it's all around. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist.
Hey, zoom.
Check 52.
To throw again. Lay. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third.
SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS.
Hey, Echo.
Mike 42, Mike 42. You ain't got nothing.
Yep.
You ain't got nothing. Mike 42, Mike 42. Let's go, baby. They turn up. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
Go, go.
Safety's creeping.
Hit it.
From the gun. Lay. It's caught. Jones. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Check it back, check it back. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Ready?
54, right there. 54, Mike.
In your face.
Watch the safety creep. Safe.
Rock it.
Check 3.
Get it.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, orbit.
Watch the shift. Slam. Check 50. Check.
2nd and 4. The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, stating the obvious, this is going to be one that the rookie quarterback is going to want to forget pretty quickly.
And what quarterback has not gone through this in their rookie year?
Yeah, they all have. I guess it's cliche, but these are the ones you hope to grow from, right?
It's just part of life on the road in the NFL. He has to learn from it and grow.
On first down, punt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the Lions' 18-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw. Topper. Ready.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers to...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lane. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Sean Davis with a pick. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They'll run again with Hunt. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Check 56. Quit talking about it and bring it.
On 3rd down, Callaway. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Keep playing hard, fellas. All day.
It's now 4th and goal.
Let's get
And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Check 3, check 3. Switch.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 35-yard line.
Hey, watch it.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Watch the run. Check hot route.
On the ball. Get it.
On 4th down, Lane. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
Cousins on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 37-yard line.
The hug. 180.
So we got man.
Here we go. The hug.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Cousins on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and...
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad pesto, if you wanna come, let's